The S&P 500 finally reached the point where the market has been waiting for, and all eyes are on the reaction at this level. And the bulls like to see it break out, and the bears like to see it correct like it did the last couple times that hit this trend line. So what would it be, a breakout or a correction? Welcome to another S&P 500 analysis. Today is December 4th, 2022. In this video, we're going to take a look at the ETF for the S&P 500, the SPY, the ETF for the NASDAQ 100, the QQQ, and the ETF for the Russell 2000, IWM. Starting off with the SPY, looking at this 4-hour chart here, as you can see, the week started off on the weak side, and it came down to this lower range of the expected move. Then on Wednesday, when Jay Powell made the comment about moderation on the rate hike as soon as this month's meeting, the December FOMC meeting, and it shot up and it came up to this upper range of the weekly expected move before it pulled back on Friday, and it finished right near this trend line here. So for the coming week, we'll be looking at the upper range of the expected move will be between 414.25 and 413.30. And the lower range will be 400.60 and 398. And looking at this composite volume profile, some of the high volume node and the low volume node, we see that it came down on Friday and it found support near this high volume node between somewhere around 402.31. And came up on this low volume node at 407.51 and kind of got rejected a little bit. But also prior to that, we saw a rejection up here at 410.37. So for the coming week, I'd be looking for the possibility to see will price be able to come back up above this low LVN here, this low volume node up at 407.51. If it could, then look for a bounce to see would it be able to take out this high volume node and move up to the upper range of the expected move, somewhere around this 413 area and also near this high volume zone here. So we'll see if the upside move will materialize for the coming week and satisfy the bulls looking for a breakout. And if it does, then we could look for a possible move up to this 422.74 area, essentially filling out this gap here. Now, for the downside, if it get rejected at this low volume node here at this 407.50, I'd be looking for a possible move down here to this high volume node here at 402.31 and see would we be able to see some kind of support and push us back up, because we notice that there has been some resistance, price resistance here. So we're basically looking for price resistance to turn into support. Now, if it's unable to hold this as a support, then look for a move down to the lower range of the expected move and come down to this composite or this high volume node here near the 398.39. And if break that, then we're looking for this 394.94 or near the 395, this high volume node. And essentially, it is this composite point of control. And looking at the QQQ, you could say that it broke this trend line, or it also is trying to hold this resistance here, because this is bumping up against this resistance and then it pull back. So we could see a move possibly get above that resistance and move higher, or it will get rejected and continue to work down and eventually come down and fill this gap. So looking at this 4-hour chart here, we see that also just like the SPY, it started out the week on a weak side, and then on Wednesday, the Fed chair comment pushes back up to the upper range of the expected move, then came down and found some support here at this high volume node between the 288.64 area and pushes back up and got a little bit of a rejection here at this high volume node at 293.95. And here's this week upper range of the expected move. It will be between 300.30 and 299. And the lower range of the expected move is between 286.10 and 284. And looking at this 4-hour chart here, as you can see, the price came up and got rejected up here at this 293.95. So we'll be watching to see would it be able to get above this and get a bounce off of this high volume node somewhere around this 294. And if it does, look for a move up to this upper range and possibly get up to this low volume node here somewhere around 303. And you see that there are some resistance up here, prior resistance here that has encountered in the past. So look for this 303 as a possible resistance level if it get above this upper range of the weekly move. And then on the downside, if it get rejected from this high volume node, then look for a possible retest of this 288.84, this high volume node here, because you see that there's been sort of a rejection here in the past, but we did find support here on Friday. So we'll see would it be able to get a bounce back up. But if it doesn't, then look for it to move down to this lower range and possibly down to this 282 area. And that's where it found some previous resistance and then turned into support and then resistance and support. So look for this 282 on the downside. But if it breaks this, then eventually we will see price most likely come down and try to fill this gap. And look at the Russell 2000. The Russell 2000 also broke this trend line, but also is bumping up against this this zone here, this resistance area just above this 188. So we'll see will it be able to break above that and then move up, or will come back in below this trend line. So as you can see on this 4-hour chart here, you see the IWM came down and tagged the lower range of the expected move, then it pushes back up and almost got up to the upper range of the expected move. Then on Friday, you see that it pulled back, but was able to get back above this trend line here and move above this high volume node. So for the coming week, we'll be looking at this particular price range of the expected move. And the upper range of the weekly expected move is between 192.20 and 191.70. And the lower range is between 184.40 and 183.20. So last week, we saw the IWM came down to this gap area and also held above this resistance support area. So right now, we're going to see would it be able to push up above this LVN, this 189.86. If it could get above this, then look for the upper range of the expected move to be get tagged and possibly work up toward this LVN here at 195.44. And that is right at this edge before it get into this low volume zone here. And on the downside, if it pulls back and dip below this HVN at 188, then look for a move back down to this lower range of the expected move and see would it get a bounce here or would it come down and test this trend line and essentially this particular support resistance level once again. So those are the price scenario to keep an eye on for the SPY, the QQQ, and the IWM for the coming week. Now, if you're interested in looking at my analysis of the FANG plus stocks such as Apple, Tesla, Amazon, Meta, Google, and Netflix, then go check out my Substack page at smtraderCA.substack.com. I have put the link in the description below. So go check it out and be sure to smash the thumbs up to help promote this video. Thank you for watching and stay safe.